The year was 2235, and humanity had long since ventured beyond the confines of Earth. Among the many colonies established on distant planets, there was one that had become the subject of legend and mystery, the colony on Epsilon Eridani B. Decades ago, communication with the colony had abruptly ceased, and all attempts to re-establish contact had failed. The planet was deemed too dangerous, and the colony was lost to time. But now, a new mission was underway. A team of seasoned explorers and scientists aboard the Starship Endeavour had been assembled to solve the mystery of the lost colony. Among them was Dr. Sarah Mitchell, an experienced xenobiologist with a personal interest in the mission. Her grandfather had been one of the original colonists. As the Endeavour approached the planet, the crew gathered in the observation deck. The planet's surface, a mixture of lush forests and desolate wastelands, loomed large in the viewport. "We're entering orbit," announced Captain Reyes, a grizzled veteran of many space missions. "Prepare for landing." The ship descended through the atmosphere, buffeted by turbulent winds. Sarah's heart raced with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. What would they find below? Had her grandfather survived? And if so, what kind of life had the colonists built? The landscape grew clearer as they neared the surface. Dense jungles intertwined with rocky outcrops, shimmering with an ethereal beauty that was both alien and captivating. The ship's landing thrusters fired, kicking up clouds of dust and debris as they touched down in a clearing near the original coordinates of the colony. Captain Reyes' voice crackled over the intercom. "Landing complete. Team, prepare for disembarkation." Sarah took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. She glanced around at her fellow crew members, each lost in their own thoughts. Dr. Alan Carter, the ship's engineer, was meticulously checking his equipment, while Lieutenant Harris, their security officer, scanned the area with a look of steely determination. The landing site was an overgrown clearing near the original coordinates of the colony. As the landing ramp extended, the team donned their protective gear and disembarked. The air was thick with humidity, and unfamiliar sounds echoed through the dense foliage. Sarah stepped onto the soft earth, feeling the give of the ground beneath her boots. The scent of strange, sweet flowers mingled with the earthy smell of the forest. Exotic birds with iridescent feathers flitted between the trees, their calls unlike anything she had heard on Earth. "Stay alert," Captain Reyes cautioned. "We don't know what we're dealing with." The team advanced cautiously, their scanners sweeping the area for signs of life. It wasn't long before they stumbled upon the remnants of the colony. Buildings, now covered in vines and moss, stood as silent witnesses to the passage of time. Yet, there were signs of recent activity, footprints in the soft earth, and the faint glow of power sources. "Over here," called Dr. Alan Carter, the team's engineer. He had found what appeared to be a makeshift camp, complete with advanced yet improvised technology. "Someone's been here recently." The camp was a curious mix of old and new. While some structures were clearly remnants of the original colony, others had been constructed from materials found on the planet. Power generators hummed softly, and various devices, some familiar and others completely alien, lay scattered about. Sarah knelt to examine a piece of equipment. "This technology, it's incredible. They've made so many advancements." Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was humanoid but with distinct, unfamiliar features, elongated limbs, luminescent eyes, and skin that seemed to shimmer in the dim light. The team froze, unsure whether to approach or retreat. "I am Alara," the figure said, its voice melodious yet alien. "Welcome to our home." As the initial shock wore off, the team engaged in cautious dialogue with Alara. It became clear that the colonists had undergone significant physical changes, likely due to the planet's unique environment and perhaps even intentional genetic modifications to survive. Sarah couldn't contain her curiosity. "What happened to the original colonists?" she asked. Alara's eyes seemed to pierce through her. "We are the descendants of those who first settled here. The planet changed us, and we adapted." Over the next few days, the team learned more about the colonists' transformation. They had developed abilities and traits suited to their new environment, heightened senses, bioluminescence, and a symbiotic relationship with the planet's flora and fauna. But it wasn't just physical changes. Their society had evolved into a harmonious yet enigmatic culture, deeply connected to the planet. Alara showed them the colony's central hub, a place where technology and nature intertwined seamlessly. Bioluminescent plants provided light, while advanced computers hummed with activity. The colonists moved with a grace and purpose that suggested a deep connection to their surroundings. "This is amazing," Sarah remarked, observing the blend of nature and technology. "It's like nothing I've ever seen." Alara nodded. "We have learned to live in harmony with the planet. It sustains us, and in return, we protect it." The more they learned, the more questions arose. What had caused these changes? Were they purely environmental, or was there something more at play? And why had the colonists cut off communication with Earth? One night, while Sarah and Dr. Carter were examining old colony records, they discovered a significant clue. Shortly before communication ceased, the colonists had unearthed an ancient alien artifact buried deep beneath the planet's surface. This artifact emitted a powerful energy field that seemed to trigger the genetic changes in the colonists. "This must be it," Sarah whispered, her eyes wide with realization. "This artifact is the key to everything." Tensions began to rise as the team delved deeper into the mystery. Not all of the colonists were welcoming. A faction led by a stern figure named Kale viewed the newcomers with suspicion and hostility. "We've thrived without interference," Kale argued during a heated council meeting. "Their presence threatens our way of life." Captain Reyes tried to mediate. "We're not here to disrupt your society. We just want to understand what happened and ensure everyone's safety." But Kale was unmoved. "Leave now, or face the consequences." Kale's followers, many of whom bore scars and other signs of past conflicts, murmured their agreement. The atmosphere grew tense, and it became clear that a confrontation was imminent. As the situation escalated, Sarah made a startling discovery. Deep within the colony's archives, she found records of an ancient alien artifact that had been unearthed shortly before contact was lost. The artifact, believed to be a relic of a long-extinct race, had emitted a powerful energy field that likely triggered the genetic changes in the colonists. "This artifact," Sarah explained to the team, "it poses a danger not only to the colonists but potentially to all of humanity if misused." Armed with this knowledge, Sarah and her team realized that the artifact posed a danger not only to the colonists but potentially to all of humanity if misused. Determined to prevent a catastrophe, the team devised a plan to neutralize the artifact. They knew it wouldn't be easy, especially with Kale and his followers opposing them at every turn. In a daring mission, they infiltrated the heavily guarded site where the artifact was kept. As they worked to disable it, Kale and his guards confronted them. A fierce battle ensued, with the artifact's energy destabilizing the environment around them. Amid the chaos, Sarah managed to interface with the artifact, using her knowledge of xenobiology and quantum physics to deactivate it. The resulting energy surge knocked everyone unconscious. When they awoke, the artifact was inert, its threat neutralized. Kale, realizing the gravity of the situation, reluctantly agreed to cooperate with the team to ensure the colony's survival. In the aftermath, the colonists and the team worked together to rebuild and strengthen their community. Sarah found closure regarding her grandfather's fate and formed a deep bond with Alara, who became a bridge between their worlds. As the Endeavor prepared to depart, Sarah looked back at the planet with a sense of accomplishment and hope. The lost colony had been found, and with it, a new chapter in humanity's journey among the stars had begun.